I am. Who is this?
Hi.
Is that you,
Hi.
Deborah?
Deb. Yeah. Whoop. There's my
Hi.
cat.
I've been wanting to ask you, those little girls on behind you, are
Yeah.
they your granddaughters or?
No, no, they're the characters in my book series.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So many people ask me that very question that you just
Well,
asked. Yeah.
it's like I've been asking and I've been like wondering for a
Yeah.
while.
The girl on the left in the purple sweater is Amanda. She is the protagonist.
Oh, cool. I can't see them now. I just know that you have them.
Oh, yeah.
Your video's off, so
Yeah. Yes.
cool.
Yes. How are you doing with your
Everybody's
music?
video is off.
Oh, maybe that's just how it's set. How am I doing
Yeah.
with my music? I haven't done
Mine's
it.
on. I just turned it on. I just got
My
here.
video's on.
Mine
Hi,
was on when I
everyone.
came on. Hi.
No,
Hi.
I don't see you.
Who, Samara? No, I
Whoever
don't
you're
see you.
talking.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. What happened? Oh, there we go. If you go to gallery view, you can see everyone.
Oh, well,
Being recorded. Okay. YouTube. Oh, yeah. There
nope.
it is.
Still can't see anyone except for
Okay, it's time. There it is. Who can't see?
I can
I
see
see
me, but
you,
I can't
Lee.
see. I
Yeah.
see you, but I can't see
Okay.
anybody else.
You have to change to the multi-speaker. Go up
Oh,
to the far right corner. It's
no,
like
it's
a bunch of
still
boxes.
it's nope, they're still black.
Everybody's still black. Okay,
Yeah.
because that means not everybody has their camera on.
Yeah.
Some people have their cameras on. So, okay. Well, it's
We'll
time,
just
and I
listen.
can
You
see
just do
so
your
many
thing.
people I love here today. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for coming. I imagine others may join in. Let me hit my recording.
Hi, Lee. This is Noha.
Hi, Noah. Look
Hi,
whose
Noah.
shirt I'm wearing.
Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Okay, everybody, Noah Kolkaila is the founder of the Peace Academy of the Sciences and Arts in San Luis Obispo County, California. She is a master of creating curriculum and living schools for children. I absolutely adore her with all my heart and soul, and I'm so excited you're here. I hope Arsene is able to get on. He will be coming. He is the founder of the Peace Academy in Nakaval that we are gathering here today to support. And much of your work, Noah, inspired him. He has been building. January last year, they had under 100 children. Now they have over 350 children
Wow.
enrolled in the school,
Wow.
ages 3 to 15.
Woohoo.
They are creating a peace tournament of the arts, sciences, and
Wow.
sports for the entire community. And you'll see in this presentation a lot about them. I hope he's able to join. Oftentimes, they do not have the credits to be able to get online, how it goes. Anyway,
I'm
welcome,
super
welcome.
excited.
If
Lee, I just wanted to let you know my camera is broken, so I can't turn it on. So I
you
apologize for
can't
that.
turn it on, that's okay. Your voice
Apologies.
is welcome. So we're going to begin. I need to share screen and let you see I've created a PowerPoint to help kind of walk us through this, because Zolt, in my first attempt to bring this work to communities that I am so grateful to be a part of, he suggested I have some images that would help the words. And he's right, because we're all different kinds of learners
Mhm.
and we need all the support we can get. Okay. So, oh, I'm so happy to see so many faces and names here. Thank you all for coming. I'm supposed to be sharing the screen. There we go. That's the right button. Whew. Okay. Oops. Show. That's the right button. Thank you all so much for taking the time to come join us today. My name is Collver-Richards, and today's Conversations with Love to Inspire Conscious, Joyful Actions is here specifically to generate support for PAN, the Peace Academy at Nakival, the Global Alliance for Peace and Solidarity for Africa, global project in the refugee camps of Nakival, Uganda. I have been sitting with what school really means for a long time. I've been a student of school in one form or another for nearly 64 years, as I'm sure anyone who started school at the age of 3 remembers. I've been a teacher and a school builder for about half that time. I have seen what can happen when the purpose of school aligns with the communities, cultures, and needs it serves. It's magic. It truly becomes, as the visionary Walt Disney so aptly phrased in his Lands for Children of All Ages, school is the happiest place on earth. I believe our social learning experiences, the school of life, is meant to be that happy. Spaces of joy where young and old explore together to experience the unknown, the challenging, the difficult, even the hard, without closing their hearts and minds to what's alive in them today, through nature, through our shared humanity, and through the deity of life itself. A threefold union unfolding in right order. At PAN, the Peace Academy of the Nakival community, a GAPS Africa project, they are living into that vision of a future. This gathering is to share their work. And I don't know why this is going on and on. This gathering is to share their work, their hope, and to ask you for their support. Before we close today, I hope you may consider giving to their cause and be a part of this magnificent future they envision for all the children of all ages at the Nakival settlements in Uganda. Today, the future they envision is for a free Africa that includes all cultures, all belief systems, and the myriad ways of knowing, seeing, and expressing we are all born with. I've put in the chat the link to their GoFundMe. This is not something they want to do, it's something they have to do until they get the necessary funds to be able to create the documentation for the CBO, to be able to get a bank account, to be able to get the documentation to be able to even travel within the country, to be able to open an NGO, and then to be able to access support and means to become a self-sufficient operation. Love is a verb. It requires action. If you could just take a breath with me right now and see your nose taking that breath and be curious. What might today bring to mind for you? What might you create consciously today? How might we serve the greater good? Feel a smile cross your lips and bring your mouth towards your ears. See the beauty of all things in the corner of your eyes. And rest in the awareness of that breath and the heart beating in your chest and the connection of your body to this earth. If it's safe for you to do so, let your eyes gently close. And rest in the awareness of that breath. Feel your whole body. Let the breath let go of the past from the back of your heart space. Receive another in-breath and let the future release from the front of your heart space. Feel the bottoms of your feet. Feel your heart in your body. Let your breath move and release all your ideas of the past, of the future, and even of this present moment. And let's step into that space of curiosity. From here, consider what makes you burst with joy. What makes you just scintillate with the electricity of life? That's our heart center. That's our operating system. That's our happy place. It's what my friend Dee Wallace calls our love place. Go there first. Imagine that place that just makes you burst with joy. That face that just makes you amplify your happiness. And let life have its way with you as the mindful presence of your best self. Whenever you're ready, receive another deep breath and gently reopen your eyes. We are now ready to proceed. We aren't all things to all people, but we can know how to be all thought and all possibility for ourselves and become conscious creators of the life that we dream of. I want to try something right now to kind of get you into that little bit of happiness. I'd like you to sing around with me. So if you can, just unmute yourselves, please. On the slide is a little round. It's a song that's sung in parts, and it creates kind of harmonies. It's really amazing. So the way it works is you don't start singing the same time with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You start when you're ready. And you start from the beginning and you sing all the way through. And you won't finish at the same time as anybody else. You'll finish when you're ready. The song goes like this. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. So I'll start us off, and then you wait until I begin the second line, and then you start from the beginning. And don't let yourself get confused. Stay in that sovereign knowing of yourself, and you sing, and then somebody else will come in, and somebody else will come in, and you'll be amazed at the sound. We'll see how Zoom takes it. All right, are you ready?
Yep.
Yes?
Go.
Okay, here we go. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row,
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 row, row your boat
gently
gently
down
down
the
the
Gently
stream.
stream.
down the
Merrily,
stream.
merrily,
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 life
Row
life
your
is
boat
but
gently
a
down the
Life
dream.
stream.
row,
dream.
Merrily,
row your
merrily,
boat.
merrily,
Merrily,
merrily, life is
merrily,
but a
life is but a
dream.
Merrily,
dream.
Merrily,
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 merrily, life
merrily,
is but
merrily,
a
life is
dream.
but a
Row
Your
dream.
boat
Row
gently
your
down
boat
the
Row
stream.
your
gently
boat
down the
Merrily,
gently,
stream.
merrily,
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 life
life
is
is
but
but
merrily,
a
a
merrily,
dream.
life
dream.
is
Merrily,
but a
merrily,
dream.
life is
Merrily,
but a
merrily,
Row
merrily,
dream.
life
gently
is
Row
down
your
the
boat
but
gently
a
stream.
down the
dream.
stream.
Merrily, merrily,
Merrily,
merrily,
merrily,
merrily,
merrily,
life
merrily,
is
life
but
is
a
but a
Gently
dream.
dream.
down the stream. Merrily, merrily.
Keep going. That was great. Thank you so much.
That was
You can
fun.
sing it or you can mute yourself again. That was really fun. Thank you. And now a little odd lesson. I took this picture of a lily at a market here in Hilo this week. This is Easter week in the Christian cultures. And this flower, to me, was a perfect example of the balance between masculine and feminine energy in life's infinite creation process. The pistil, the three parts of the feminine body, the stigma, the style, and the ovary. The stamen, the male structure, the anther, and the filaments, protecting and serving that feminine container. 5 unique operating systems within one organic symbol of beauty. And all of it requires the precious bee who moves the pollen from stamen to pistil so that fresh new life can emerge once again. We are meaning-making beings. We build our lives from what we experience and the beliefs our minds establish about ourselves in those sensory experiences. What we see and how we see ourselves seeing the world, how we see the world seeing us, shapes the world we build, the values we hold dear, the truths we abide by. This global initiative is about vision, about seeing ourselves clearly while staying grounded in the realities people are living every day, knowing they do not define us or determine the future that we can shape. And even though our world right now is not guaranteeing even the basic human needs equally to all, without regard to race or circumstance or environment or gender, we have the power to choose to create a world of honor, dignity, respect, and loving kindness. Life is an all-age school. Children and youth need that safe space to experience the heart, so when they meet their future selves, they are integrated whole human beings. They become the adults in charge, stewards of their own lives, stewards of the earth, stewards with the resilience to choose wisely, and a clear head to meet life with strength and character, forged by deep human qualities of virtue and value. These are different helpers already working with Nakival. This is Mariam Navaf. She is the director and brilliant pedagogista at the Reggio Emilia approach at Canada's Frog Hollows Learning Centre. She gave to the volunteer teachers at Nakival School an opening of how to work with little children, creating projects. And when they went back to the school, they created a beauty project for the little ones to find natural things in the environment around them. And these children brought it together. They were 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, just little ones, with multiple languages working between them. And once they had finished the project, they demanded that the teachers create a botanical garden. And that's the way this Reggio Emilia approach works, living within the community. Another helper who has come, who is also creating an extraordinary project in Afghanistan for the disabled and widowed women. It's called the Afghanistan Women's Empowerment Project. His name is Zia Mohammed Hashimi. And he is using an ancient process, not really, an ancient circle that these women have done for centuries. You can see the beautiful embroidery on their costumes, on their clothing, on their tapestries, and they were making their wares to sell and be able to feed their families. And Zia's project would give money for the women to buy the supplies, to come learn. And he is now working with the Peace Academy at Nakival for the Global Alliance for Peace and Solidarity in Africa. Another brilliant man has been working with Dr. Scylla Elworthy in the Mighty Heart Project. His name is Brown Masingate, and he is in the country of Malawi in Africa. He is the Peace Academy's Mighty Heart liaison. And what he said to us when he first met the group on WhatsApp was he had seen such dramatic change because people separated from their heart are separated from the earth, separated from their God, and separated from one another. And when they have closed hearts, it's very difficult to meet the challenges that life presents. And their broken hearts were mended as he walks them through this Mighty Heart Project. And this is Arsene, the leader of the Global Alliance for Peace and Solidarity, our in Africa liaison, Arsene Kibukila. And I'm going to put in the chat the link on GoFundMe. And I mentioned to you, this is not what they want. They are not a charity organization. They are a community in process, in progress, making meaning, weaving a golden thread of new consciousness. This is Arsene, and I'm going to speak for him in his own words. I am 26 years old. I am not waiting for change. I am commanding love in action by building the changes I want to see in the world, right where I am. I am the founder and the continuous life force energy moving GAPS Africa and the Peace Academy at Nakival forward. The school itself, the Empower Her women's programs, the farming and building programs, these are not mere ideas. They are already in motion. I am a community activist, an associative leader in the Nakival refugee camp in Uganda. My story and that of my family is intimately linked to the armed conflicts, wars, and climate crises my family and many others were forced to flee from their homelands. With the support of Catholic priests, we found refuge in Uganda and were settled in the Nakival refugee camp in 2020. Like millions of displaced families, we lost our stability, our possessions, our landmarks. However, we held on to one essential value, the deep conviction that education and peace, self-awareness and honesty, compassion and presence are foundational for sustainable development and a dignified future. This experience has forged my commitment to transforming our vulnerability into opportunity, not only for my own journey through life, but for the entire refugee community in search of sustainable solutions. Nakival is not just a place of displacement. It is becoming a place where people come together and build life again. Communities from many nations living side by side. And from that foundation of building in peace and solidarity, a living, learning organization with purpose is emerging. The students at Peace Academy Nakival come from across the region, For the main school community with now 350 students, they come from Rwanda with the language of Kinyarwanda. They come from Burundi with the language of Kirundi. They come from South Sudan with the language of Arabic. They come from the Congo with the language of Swahili. They come from Uganda with the language of Kinyakoro. They come from Somalia, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Amharic, and on and on. And in the peace tournament that they are planning, they will have 12 nations represented, one field of play, one shared vision. And Arsene said, mais la langue qui nous réunit ensemble, c'est le Kiswahili. But the language that unites us together is Kiswahili. They are generating community through community-led projects to meet their basic needs, create sustainable income, build infrastructure, and build the skills and capacities beneficial to all. They see the child as the artist, drawing the world into being, imagining it. They see the child as a performer, knowing joy is a form of knowledge and love in action. They use their ancestral wisdom and the wisdom of all the peoples of this community, elders and youth, women and children, men and girls, boys, and the nature around them, building side by side. They're building a school by making the bricks from the earth. From foundation to walls, it takes shape. They have created the Empower Her. They have now 3 sewing machines and over 100 women involved in the Learning to Sew project so that they can develop the skills and capacities to generate income and an economy. These are 2 of the uniforms that the women have created for the different schools, the blue for the littlest ones and the red for the older children. Okay, this is the ask. The ask is for $13,509. For me, it's a daunting amount of money with my school salary of a retired teacher. However, it's not really that big an ask because what they do with that amount of money is more than we did in Los Angeles with hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to fund our school of the same size. This will fund the whole remaining school year, make sure the children are fed every day, make sure the volunteer teachers have a little bit of a stipend so that they don't have to go find work somewhere else. They are creating the 4th annual peace tournament of sports, theater, engineering, design, all the arts and music, bringing together hundreds of children and families, bringing together thousands of people in a shared common goal. And you know what? I did the math. If 250 people gave just $67 this month of April, they would have enough to fund everything. And the peace tournament that begins May 1st and goes every day until June 20th. They are real. The Mighty Heart of Malawi is real. The Afghanistan Women's Empowerment Project is real. The Reggio Emilia approach to learning is real. Schools around the world are teaching and learning differently. Communities are choosing to empower, to use their ingenuity, to take hold of their ancestral knowledge and to create opportunities for themselves. They are no longer forcing the extinction model on the minds and hearts of our young people and youth. And I love and choose to serve those who are building in this way. Today, I'm asking you to please join us and help build this vision for the Peace Academy at Nakival, a global alliance of peace and solidarity for Africa and beyond. I'm going to pause the sharing for now, and I'd just like to see if there's anyone here who has questions or comments or anything they'd like to share. I know we are live, and I can stop that if you would rather not, or you can just keep your camera off. But please, is there anyone who has something they'd like to offer?
Hi, Lee. This is Deborah.
Hello, Deborah.
Hi. Hi. Thank you so much for doing this. It really opens us up to more possibilities in the world for how we can be one, doesn't it? I'm very interested as a teacher myself in the school and what they're developing. Could you say a little bit more about the peace tournament? I've never heard that phrase before, and I'd love to know more about it.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
thank you. So they form teams because athletics or movement is a really important part. And football or soccer is a game known around the world. And it's a game that requires leadership. It requires working together. It requires listening. It requires building skills and knowing how to work together. And what they do is they bring together these teams. Children form the teams. They have young people and older people. Right now, they've got 26 teams formed. And I said to Arsene, you can't keep saying to them, oh, you can come anytime. You got to put a container around it and tell them, okay, your teams need to be formed by this date because we are getting the money to be able to train the referees and you guys need to practice. So they have these tournaments and they play against the teams and then see who wins the ultimate prize. But just being there is the prize. Also, they have arts activities, they have music activities, they have performing arts activities, they have cultural activities like they did. I don't know, it went so fast, but one of the things the girls asked, because March 8th was the International Day of Women and Girls, and they are very aware of the international community. They aren't like us in their learning. They know there's a world outside of the world they live in very, very acutely. And the girls asked, well, wait a minute. You built the botanical garden for the little ones. What are you doing for women and girls? We should have something on International Women and Girls Day. So they created this fashion show. They created costumes from the different cultures. They worked together with their parents and they presented it. So that's what the Peace Tournament is. And June 20th is known as the International Day for Refugees. So it starts May 1st and it culminates on the 20th, and the whole community is involved. And part of this money is to buy soccer balls, to buy shoes. Not everyone has shoes. To create uniforms that the Women's Empower Her program will sew numbers on. I mean, it's just this community, but they need the basic supplies. And it's not obvious. Nakival is in a very isolated part and they have to travel long journeys. They need money to travel. They need money to purchase. We all do. That's the currency of our time for the exchange. And so that's why we're asking for $67 from 250 people. We'll do it. So, That's the budget they have. Thank you, Deborah, for that question. That's the
Thank you.
peace
That's
tournament.
so exciting.
It
They could
is, isn't
teach
it?
us a lot about community.
Anybody else have a question or comment?
Yes,
Hi,
me.
Caroline.
Hi, Lee. This is wonderful. I put some some information in the chat for you.
Okay.
As soon as you started talking about who this organization and what they're doing, Trickle Up, which was started by Millie and Glenn Leet in 1979. They are former UN program managers, and they, the whole trickle down theory, and they said that never worked. And they created an organization that is still going strong, that supports primarily women in many countries. But basically, they know how to get stuff done, and they have a channel for money. So I strongly suggest, they're out of New York.
Okay.
I put in a bunch of contact information, and Millie and Glenn Leet are no longer with us. She passed away in 2011. I was just checking when I was getting those resources for you. But for them, that 13,000 is a no, never mind. The other person I put in there is looking at what's going on at Melinda French Gates, not-for-profit Pivotal Ventures. When she divorced Bill Gates, she had already had Pivotal Ventures from 2015, which is her own, but she's financed to the tune of billions of dollars, and their focus is women and children, and making true societal changes in not just the United States, but all around the world. And she obviously, with 20 years at the Gates Foundation, she has a lot of experience with what works, what doesn't work, and how to get stuff done. Now, Pivotal Ventures is focused on investing in early stage companies, but I'm sure they do stuff or they would know who to connect you with. This is a matter of connecting with people who know how to do this already. But the trickle up people, if they're still doing what my late husband Christopher and I, we met Glenn and Millie Leet in the 1980s because we were in the New York area at the time. Their business model worked. Basically, they taught mostly women they would give them enough money to not only start a business, but to reinvest in their business. And they would have follow-on investment as well. So the initial investment like $100 and then a follow-on investment of $50. But they had a one-page business plan, which taught them basic business economics, how to run a small business and how to reinvest to make it grow. And they had local people on the ground teaching them, local aid organizations would use the trickle up formula, would work with them. This is prior to micro lending and everything. I mean, they started all this stuff.
Yeah.
And it really, really worked in dozens and dozens of countries around the world. So I would definitely connect with them and see what and in the particular countries where you're in, to see who they've got on the ground there, and who's doing what, and who would want to fund this and more.
This is exciting. This is really exciting. Caroline, thank you so much. These are great. These are great. It's not just about money, is it?
No. It's about organization.
It's not about money. It's
getting
about
it done. There is so much money sloshing around the world that doesn't have a home, and it's connecting. Okay, the other person. Okay, you got to connect with Rutger Bregman. Okay, look at. Okay, I'm sorry.
You'll put it in the chat.
I'll put it in the chat
for us.
Sorry, I
please.
let somebody else talk.
And then oh no.
No, the Rutger Bregman is a young Dutch historian, only in his 30s. He's got 3 or 4 books published already. He's spoken at Davos at the World Economic Forum. They invited him, and then he took them all to task, saying, "You have the resources to change this all around the world." His first book that was published in English talked about universal basic income and all the experiments that have been done in it over 150 years that were successful, and then we didn't follow on in multiple countries. So
here's what we're saying is like there really needn't be a separation between the children and the adults who are quote unquote running the world, because there's solutions to everything. And there's ways to create sustainable, life-giving, masterful lessons that actually built. So I don't know if you recall seeing the building of the bricks. That was a lesson from Noah called Kalia, where they went back into the ancestry of the Chumash tribes in Central California, and they showed how they built their homes
Mm-hmm.
in the time before cement and other
Yeah.
building
Yeah.
materials. And it's all organic. Everything comes from the earth. And they use the project to teach the children how to build. Now, sure, it's rudimentary, but as they grow and as the children's curiosity peaks and as they find where they have the most joy. So, like Deborah said, so what's the peace tournament? So the children find where they have their joy. They help with the food if they want to be growing. They growing and cooking and serving. They
Yes.
help in the sports if they want to be an athlete or they want to play the sport. I mean, they find where their talents are and their curiosity is, and they grow it together.
Yes,
There's no
this is like
separation.
there's certain educational, like the Waldorf schools, which was started by Rudolf Steiner. It's
Yeah.
following people's interest and curiosity, and like for myself, my curiosity never got killed. Most people did from they going from a child to an adult, because I ask questions all the time. I'm curious about everything, and
Right.
I never got that stopped. I put in Rutger Bregman's his latest book called Moral Ambition. He highlights a whole chapter on this organization in the UK that
Okay. Well,
teaches
I'm
effective
gonna actually
philanthropy. Yeah,
pause you because some of the other people have
of
questions
course.
and I don't have much time left either. And many people are jumping off. One of the participants asked, where does their food come from? Are they growing it? They do have farm projects, just like they have building projects, just like they have uh, projects for sanitation, projects to build proper sanitation. I mean, we've known about septic since Egyptian times, but what happens is we've become disconnected from the knowledge because we haven't been passing on the knowledge and allowing the knowledge to grow with us. We're not separate from our children. We're not separate from our elders. We're all one family. And the way they are designing their school is with that Reggio Emilia approach, which is a community-based approach. And it started in 1946 when they were building their communities out of the rubble of World War II. They had no houses. They had been denied access to education. This was not the way they wanted to go forward. And basically, aren't we all at a turning point in our lives? We have knowledge, we have will, we have desire, and yet we're a bunch of isolated little bubbles. And who knows what? Yes, they have farm projects, Nancy. Yes, they are growing as much food as they can. They don't have access to water. They've got to create something for irrigation. Everything takes knowledge. They need the people who are going to help them bring this knowledge forward. They have made a lot of progress and they're working towards becoming a sustainable community that can then share their culture with the world to build economies similar to the way Zia Mohammed is doing in Afghanistan with the ancient circles of embroidery. That's the tradition in the women's circles there, because many of you know that the women and girls are denied access to school, are denied access to economy, are denied access. And all I'm asking is that you perhaps consider giving if you can, uh, giving if you can, and giving what you can. And if you can't, please share their link for the GoFundMe. So I'm going to stop the recording and stop the YouTube, and then I'm going to ask